ANC Deputy Secretary General Jessie Duarte said to brief the media this morning on the status of the governing party's councillor candidate registration process. Many supporters of the party have registered their dissatisfaction, if you like, with that process to elect councillors, claiming manipulation of that process. Newzroom Afrika's Pelane Phakgadi live to us now from the ANC's headquarters in Luthuli House. And Pelane, what else can we expect from this briefing, especially in a context where some of those disgruntled members have already voiced their dissatisfaction, even here on Newzroom Afrika?
And really, what the DSG has to bring about is to assist those people who have been disgruntled with information as to whether their dissatisfactions have been dealt with. And among them, of course, you've seen across the country and here at Luthuli House, they came in their numbers to protest outside the party and outside the offices. And that in itself gave you an indication that people were really dissatisfied with the process in itself, the election process of councillors across the country, in branches to be exact. And in some branches, they were even marred by violence, and that you have seen people being shot at, and of course, even others coming through to allege assault. And in that regard, today we're expecting that, although there has been a lifeline given by the IEC to political parties, including the African National Congress, about extending and bringing about a new registration day for councillors, that in itself brings about much needed speculation, of course, from the rest of us in the media spectrum and as well as the country, as to whether or not the African National Congress has been able to deal with these challenges of the list. A number of people have come through, and you would remember on the previous occasions, and as well as the head of elections, which is Phakgadi Balula, did hold a media briefing about a week ago, and they noted that even beyond the November the 1st elections, there will still be a process to deal with the disgruntled members and as well as the dissatisfaction as far as the list is concerned. But at now, I think there has been allegations across the country, even in Mpumalanga where we were during the weekend, where people claim that they will not go to vote if their challenges regarding the list have not been dealt with by the National Office of the African National Congress. So in order for them to really lure in those number of voters in different places across the country, I would assume that the DSG, Jessie Duarte, would come through today to really put the matter to rest and give an indicator as to what will be a way forward, and when people still remain disgruntled, how are they going to be dealing with those dissatisfactions, and in general, those who have alleged to have been manipulated the list, how have they been dealing with them, or how are they dealing with them? We are told their investigations have been underway. At least has there been cases where they resolved that they've changed one particular candidate to another due to allegations of manipulation and so on. So those is some of the things that we want to understand from the Jessie Duarte as she comes through in the next 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, and very quickly, Pelane, what's the mood outside the Luthuli House as of this morning? As you rightly mentioned, in the past we've seen many of those angry members quite literally protesting outside. Any of that kind of movement there today?
Not today. We've been able to drive into Luthuli House quite freely, unlike the previous occasion when we were here. So not today. No disgruntled members outside. And with that particular report chaired by former president of the country, and as well as the former deputy president of the ANC, the Kalma, and that in itself, I'd assume that this part of it will be discussed with us here, and how they are intending to deal with the disgruntlement. Right. Perhaps that's why we are not seeing any protesting outside.
Right. We'll be on that briefing as soon as it starts. For now, thanks very much indeed. Pelane Phakgadi live to us there from the ANC's Luthuli House headquarters in Johannesburg.